Yo, I'm Ben Paramore, I'm the bassist for CAPRA, and you're listening to Over Music.
Shining my darkest games. Cover the mirrors I don't want to see. Am I a product of my surroundings? Or does a nightmare follow me? Am I a product of my surroundings? Or does a nightmare follow me?
It was born a number of years ago, probably about 5-6 years ago. It was actually Tyler and Jeremy that started it. Over the years, they ended up swapping. Jeremy originally was the guitar player. He moved to drums. Tyler was the bass player. He moved to guitar. Then they had a number of bassists kind of come in and out. Eventually, a few years ago, I came onto the scene. We kind of started working on our own thing, which led to most of the music you hear on this upcoming LP. During that time, Crow came in basically right as we were writing like Locust Preacher. So it all collectively was written by all four of us. We see this as like the core version of what CAPRA is. What CAPRA means, technically it means goat, but Tyler is a big Dark Souls fan, and there's a CAPRA demon in the game. It's like this goat demon, and he was fighting, and he was like, that's a pretty cool name for a band, and that's basically it. That's how they ended up with the name.
Continuing to lose grip on all that surrounds me. Now I'm staring myself in the face.
Like I said, it was a number of years. I kind of came in right at the beginning of almost every song that's on that record. There were a couple ideas before me, but most of it was written. So I guess technically the writing process was just us like writing songs over years, and this is just a collection of the best songs that we've had. There's others that we had earlier on that just weren't as good, but this is just a collection of years of writing, and these are the ones that we think like these stand out. This is what we want to put on an album. As far as the recording process, I think collectively we probably did it over a week. We track guitar one day, we track drums one day, we track bass one day, we do vocals over a couple days. And then that was for the first 8 tracks. Pandemic hit, and then we kind of did it again for 3 tracks. I think that's Mutt, Transfiguration, and Deadbeat Assailant. Those are the last 3 to be recorded, and that was over the pandemic, so that was a little tricky. We had to make sure that everyone was safe and we were doing it right. But probably tracking wise over a week. Mastering was bouncing it back and forth. Originally we had the first master with Jai Benoit, who we recorded with, and then Taylor Young over at Nails, he did our master, and he reamped everything, and that was a couple of weeks of going back and forth and figuring out what we like, what he was giving us. Yeah, we're very happy with what we got.
I can't keep holding on. But God help me if I try to let go. The sweet caress of unconscious release.
I'm an English major. I believe in the death of the author, so really, ultimately, from me, I think songs mean what they mean to you. And what Crow is writing about, I can't for sure give you all the details about him. Just generally about her struggles, different situations that have happened in her life. The Locust Preacher, the first video we put out for this album, is about a time in her life where she kept having sleep paralysis, kept happening to her. So she would see these paralysis demons, and that kind of inspired all of the lyrics for that song. But a lot of them are from her own life and her own trials as a young woman in America.
Don't let it take me. Please let me go.
So far, it's been great. They're awesome. We email them if we have questions. They kind of guide us along. This is all new to us, so we haven't had any kind of issue. It's been amazing, man. Everyone's been very helpful. We're very excited to be part of the Metal Blade Records and Blacklight Records family. It's great.
What have I done in the past life? To what death do I owe?
It's going to be a little different for everyone. I think a lot of people hear like the Every Time I Die influence. That's pretty heavy for most of us. We're all kind of metal or punk kids. I kind of tend to steer punk. So for me personally, it's a lot of old punk. So like nationally you have Black Flag, Minor Threat. Internationally, the Buzzcocks, the Clash. And that's kind of where I came from. Just an old punk kid that ended up in this metal band. So they put me on bass. It works out. Tyler is very into Converge, Every Time I Die, Gulch, Botch. Crow kind of listens to a bunch of stuff. She's real into Black Sabbath, real into Midnight. Jeremy's kind of a mix of all of us, along with, I think the two of us are the only ones that really listen to rap, but me and him listen to some modern hip hop. Big Tyler the Creator fan, big Childish Gambino fan. But that's not really stuff you'll hear on our records. That's just stuff we listen to.
I try not to fear. I know that the fear is what brings them here. Choosing between the fear.
Torture Chip was one day. Jai Benoit, the guy that recorded our album, he's actually a really great photographer as well. He had this little warehouse. We went out one day. We shot it all. But it's kind of just a live performance thing. So we I guess about, I want to say 6-7 hours as far as the shooting goes. He edited it for over a week. But yeah, that one was pretty simple. Then Locust Preacher, that was shot over 2 days, where we shot everything in Jeremy's house. That's where you see like the scenes where there's the family and the girl who's suffering from the paralysis demon and the Locust Preacher. That's shot in Jeremy's house, and that was an all-day affair. I actually missed half of it. I came in towards the end, but it was very crazy. Matt Valentine is awesome. He's helping us out. He's got so much equipment. It was just so crazy to see it all set up. Like what you kind of used to see. I mean, this is all new to us. And then we did it again. We found another location to do the live performance. It's an abandoned sugar, what is it, paper mill? Yeah, paper mill out in New Iberia. It's great. They have all kinds of sweet graffiti and art out on the walls, but like the building itself is kind of coming down structurally. Gives a very cool vibe. That was a very cold night. That was we were freezing. We were all freezing and trying to rock as hard as we could. I don't know. I don't think any of us have actually talked about what we think this album cover represents to us. To me, it's kind of like this woman wearing this foil eye cover. It's I think it has a lot to do with, you could say it has to do with like inner reflections or being blinded and paranoid. These are the times that we live in. No one's sure what's going on, and everyone's paranoid about something in these days. It's COVID-19.
How can I be free? The more that I think of them, the more that they tear me into my destiny.
I can't say I've ever had any, like, no, I lied. There have been some bad ones. I don't want to get too into it, but yeah, there have been some bad ones. Sometimes you're staying at someone's house. I would just say be careful who you stay with. And just because they say it's cool to stay doesn't mean that their tweaked out roommate is going to think it's okay that you're staying there too. So just be vigilant. Make sure you have an escape plan. No one ever felt like they were in danger. I've never felt like I was in danger in Toro. Just awkward and shitty situations have happened. But yeah.
Now it's too late.
I think me and Tyler have two different ideas of what it means to him. He's like, it's being transmitted to your face. But to me, like, I felt like we recorded this album and then we had to just sit on it for like a year. Like the first 8 tracks, we just sat on it for so long, waiting to see, like, are we going to be signed by Metal Blade Records? The rumor was in that we were, but we weren't sure. Should we wait? Should we start looking elsewhere? Because COVID kind of shut all of that down. Like, we were in the process of signing and we weren't able to get it done. So we ended up having to just sit on this album, and it felt like everything that we've been working for is just kind of lost in transmission. Like, we were ready to send it out to the world, and then it's just stuck in the void. So yeah, that's what it means to me. Man, we are already about 5-6 songs into some new material. We're ready to already start thinking about the next one. On top of that, tour as soon as we can. We want to tour. We want to play music. We want to be out there. We're all tired of sitting on our butts, but we can't wait for you guys to hear it. We can't wait to see you at a local show. We want to go everywhere we can. So we're hoping to see you in the near future, since everything seems to be slowing down. And that's our future plans. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for checking out Over Music. Thank you for checking out us. If you like what I said, or head over to Metal Blade Records, man. We have some very cool vinyl record variants coming out. Pre-order would go a long way to help us out. Thanks. See y'all next time. Bye.